Being a creator is a lot. We understand the effort you put into your creative work, always showing up and delivering value. We see you. As a creator, we know you need to be supported. And that's why Show Love by Seller was created just for you. Show Love enables you to easily accept tips and donations from your supporters and fans all over the world. With Show Love, your fans, community, audience, and followers can now reward you for all the hard work you put in. What's more, you can receive these tips and donations from anyone, anywhere in the world. To get started, all you have to do is go to www.seller.co/showlove, fill in your details, and in less than 5 minutes, you can set up your Show Love page and start accepting tips. It's as easy as ABC. So what are you waiting for? Over 10,000 creators are using Show Love, and you should be one of them.
Hey Siri, how do I make money as a digital creator? How can I make money from my creativity? What's the best course hosting platform in Africa?
To do that, you'll need to be online.
Alright, I'm online. What's next? Everyone has a story to tell. The difference is in how we tell them. As a creator, you tell your stories with the content you create. Our job is to give you a platform to monetize your content. So the next time you think about digital products, think Seller. Get started for free on seller.co today.
You want not just to be online.
You adopt same strategy and apply in your own business.
Any strategy, except you understand the strength of the person that is behind.
And making the right type of content will also include you making discoverable content.
It's a gift and it's their gate pass so that they can make money, so that they can change their lives.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Monetizing Your Words webinar. I have here with me Comfort Omovre. Comfort is a counselor, a creator, the author of When Love Visits, and the founder of Phoenix Blvck Enterprise, an online platform that is dedicated to helping young adults achieve positive well-being through nurturing healthier relationships as well as making valued investments in their emotional and mental development. Thanks to our platform and our dedication to doing this noble work for the past years, Comfort has been able to reach millions of individuals across social media, enriching their lives by encouraging them to embrace love, growth, especially as they commit to building safer and deeper connections. She's also privileged to to successfully counsel over 100 amazing individuals, guiding them from a place of confusion and hurt to a haven of clarity. When Comfort is not being a counselor or creator, she is a coach, consultant, and storyteller, helping industry experts as well as creators alike establish powerful brand presence, building global authority. She also specializes in coming up with brilliant business growth strategies that have succeeded in generating leads, resulting in massive conversions for female led businesses. Some of our works have been featured on platforms such as Board Panda, Elle Magazine, Seller, Black Love Social, etc. Good day, Comforts. How are you doing?
Hi, good day. I'm doing great. Thank you. And you?
I'm doing well as well. So would you like to say a few words before we get started?
Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be here today.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Comfort. So let's dive in. Comfort, can you tell us a bit about your writing journey and how you got started with self-publishing?
I would say that my writing journey goes way back. I remember I started writing when I was like 8, and it's a story I love to tell. So I grew up in a family of writers. Everyone in my family writes, except my parents. But I believe we got the talent from them because we are all writers. So they just don't write for us because they're old and in that time writing wasn't really a thing. So yeah, I grew up watching my older sister actually write a lot. She used to come up with this amazing stories and spend all day writing her novels, and I really love that. So I was like, okay, I want to do this as well. So it started as me just trying to be like my sister, copying her. And I wrote my first story when I was 8. It was
Oh
very
wow.
childish and funny, oh, somebody was going to the river to fetch water. Another person set leg for her. She fell. She got angry, decorated. She went back home. So something along those lines. But as I grew older and I started reading more, I realized that I really enjoyed, books as a whole, and I was just really fascinated by the whole, creative process that went into creating a whole new world out of mere imagination. So I began to take writing more seriously. My junior secondary school, I started writing school plays. I think I was 11 when I wrote my first school play, directed it, acted in it. And then when I got to senior secondary school, I met a whole lot of other writers in my new school, in my class. So we started writing books and then would share with each other, give each other feedback. And it just continued like that. So I just kept writing over the years. When I was in touring level, I became a professional ghostwriter. And I did that for like 5 years, worked with various, publishing companies worldwide, the likes of Sealet, Aliquin, Sapphire, just staff for as a ghostwriter. And then at some point, I was like, no, this is too exhausting. I don't want to do this anymore because, yeah, the money is great, but there is no recognition. You can't really come out and claim your work. It's just not. It's just not being fulfilling for me. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to write my own books, which has always been the plan. And these days it's much easier to be a self-publisher because there are tools and resources available to you to be able to market your books yourself and get sales, especially when you're someone that has built a community. And that's something I've been privileged to have built over the years. So I think I started working on what was supposed to be my debut book 2 years ago, but I just kept getting carried away by different projects, other things I had to do, and I just never got past chapter one. But sometime last year, I got this really beautiful idea to write this really lovely love story, and I started that evening. I just started writing the story, and before I knew it, a couple of months down the line, I was done. And I said, okay, let's release this. Let's send this out to the world. And I was like, okay, I'm going to use Seller, I'm going to use Amazon, I'm going to use some other, digital stores that I happen to be on, and let's see how that goes. So far, so good. So yeah, that's basically the short story about how
Oh, wow.
I self
You
published.
have quite an extensive and impressive resume, actually,
Thank you.
quite a long one. Many writers are curious about self-publishing. What
Mhm.
are some of the biggest advantages you found with this route, especially regarding monetization?
I would say that definitely the fact that all the money is coming back to you. You don't have to share any percentage with any printing press or publishing company, with any publishing company, as the case might be. And then there's also the fact that you have full creative freedom, right? So you get to call all the shots. Oh, I want this to be this way. I want that to be that way. So I would say this, and you get to work, at your own pace. Although I'm not really sure that's much of an advantage, because if you're a procrastinator, it can delay things. Like, okay, I released the soft copy in, was it February now? Yes, February. And the hard copy should have been ready by June, but I'm still working on the final edits for the hard
And
copy, so we can send it off to the printer. I've paid for publishing, I've paid for everything, but I've been so busy, I've not been able to finish it. But if I did have like a publishing company on my neck, maybe that would have hurried me up a bit. But it's nice to feel like you can do things at your own pace. You don't feel pressured. All the profits coming back to you, and then again, creative freedom. So I was like, yeah, those are like the biggest advantages that I can think of. And also, you get to decide when you want your book to go out. So if you're looking for a publishing company to publish for you, you have to first ensure that, number one, they want to work with you. Number two, they're accepting your drafts. And then there have been cases of publishing companies, saying, oh yes, we love your draft, we want to publish this book, but it has to stay on the shelf for a while because we have like a lineup. So you now have to start waiting for like a year or two before your book finally meets the word. But when you're publishing yourself, you get to decide when you want to roll out. So yeah.
Yeah, that's all very true, and that seems to be an advisable route for anyone who wants to monetize their writing.
Yeah.
So with like obviously everything that has an advantage has its disadvantages
Definitely.
as well. So what what are some of the biggest challenges you faced in self-publishing, and how did you overcome them?
I would say that the first one was financial constraints, and that just makes you have to do everything yourself, right? So I remember for my book, I did the writing myself, I did the beta reading myself, I did the editing myself, and I'm now working on the final drafts myself, and then the whole formatting. So it's really really hectic having to do it all alone. But the other side to that is, if you don't want to do it alone, then you have to spend money to hire professionals who will actually get the job done
Yeah.
properly, and then that would just cost a whole lot. So I would say that's one of the biggest challenge that I faced, because it was really really stressful for me. So many times I just wish that I had someone else on this journey with me. And there's also the fact that because I've worked with professional editors from all around the world, I know what it's like to have those people have input on your book and how it can make your work better overall. So I kind of miss that with my own book. I miss having that professional input. And I know that if you are working with a publishing company, these are the things that they'll provide for you: a professional beta reader, a professional editor, and it will just make the whole process easier. All you just have to do is write, still handle the rest, including the final drafts and the formatting and all of that. So yeah. And then I would say that, of course, distribution and marketing. So when you're working with a publishing company, they have marketing budget, they have marketing plans and strategies, and they make distribution so much easier because they already have bookstores, libraries that they are connected to, so they just handle all of this for you. But when you're self-publishing, you have to do everything yourself. You have to start calling these bookstores yourself, reaching out to them, sending emails, and many of them don't really pay attention to you as a self-publisher, especially if you're a new author that is not yet popular or hasn't gotten that hit book yet. They don't really do we really need to have your book in our stores? Would it really be profitable for our business? So many of them don't even want to give you a listening ear. They don't want to hear what you have to say. It can be quite challenging in that regard. But you know what? We're pushing. Honestly, I don't think that as comfortable as self-publishing is, in the sense that it doesn't put pressure on you. I
Yeah.
don't think that I would want to self-publish again. If I have to, I would definitely. I would, but I think that I would be so much happier to have a reputable publishing firm want to work with
No.
me for my other books. Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for that honest answer, Comfort. Earlier you mentioned that we are now in an age where there are tools and like resources that can help you be a self-published author. So,
Yeah.
are there like resources like books, courses, tools that you would recommend to writers looking to monetize their work?
Yeah, as for books, not really, because I don't do much of non-fiction reading. All my reading is fictional. I've tried to get into non-fiction, but I just haven't been able to. So I wouldn't be able to recommend. But I do know that tools and resources that did help me. Amazon Kindle has a lot of valuable information when it comes to self-publishing. Now you don't even have to be registered on the platform. If you just go on Amazon Kindle and you go to their website, you see lots of valuable information that you would need on your self-publishing journey. And it also happens to be a very, very amazing tool for self-publishers. Only that it's unfortunately not available to people in Africa for now. But if you are not in Africa, if you are diaspora, then of course you have access to Amazon, and then you can use their Kindle publishing as a great tool to self-publish your works. Now, of course, other tools that we have to mention are digital platforms such as Seller. I love Seller. I've been using Seller for the longest time. We also have the likes of Mainstack, and then of course when you want to like distribute or just put all the links to the various channels on which you've listed your book. You could also use Linktree, right, to connect the links or do your one-page link on funnel websites such as Group Funnels, as the case might be. So yeah, of course, when it comes to marketing, like okay, letting people
Yeah.
building awareness, of course, email marketing platforms. If you've already established a good email marketing system, or a newsletter system, you could also use your email marketing platforms to really just get the word out there more, like your HubSpot, your Flowdesk, your Mailchimp, and of course the most underrated ones that people don't really talk about that often, social media. If you have a community on social media, no matter how little, you can definitely leverage that community to market your what's it called, your books even more. So all of this just come together to help you with self-publishing. Then when it comes to writing, of course, my favorite is Microsoft Word. I love using Microsoft Word. It's just easy for me when it comes to writing my novels. But for office or business related matters, I prefer Google Docs because you can share and then you can, they are live documents, right? But for writing my novels, I prefer Microsoft Word. And then when it comes to formatting, right now I use Kindle formatting to format my Word documents into EPUBs and Kindle formats for listing on these digital platforms where you can sell your products. Yeah, then of course Adobe is also good for PDF conversion when you want to print your book, because the printers require PDF. That's what they require for hard copy, not Kindle or EPUB. They require
Yeah.
PDF. So you can just use Adobe to make sure that your PDF is formatted the way it should be, and everything is in its right place. So yeah, of course, Canva for your book designs. If you are doing everything yourself, I designed my cover myself, and I designed on Canva.
Oh,
So yeah, you can use Canva for your cover designs as well, and just try to download in the highest quality possible. Is there anything else I'm missing? When you go online and you check for mock-ups, there are a lot of websites that will offer you cover mock-up templates. So you just put in your cover and then you get the templates that you want, the mock-up design that you want, and you can also share that on social media platforms in order for people to see what the book would look like, in hard copy, even though you've not published hard copy yet. And I find
yeah.
it's also a better way to present your books overall, because then it looks professional, it looks well put together, and it's also more attractive, so to speak. So yeah, these are the tools that definitely helped me in my journey. If you also want to edit, for my beta reading, my beta reading, I would say that editing tools really helped a whole lot. And one that I really enjoyed was Pro Writing Aid because it makes more allowance for creative writing. Creative writing is much more different from content writing, and a lot of these editing apps or tools have the strict writing rules, so they don't really allow much room for creative freedom. But Pro Writing Aid has some accommodations for that, so you could look into it as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for that detailed answer.
Welcome.
So, before we continue, if anyone has any question for Comfort, please leave the question in the comment section and we will attend to them at the end of the session. So Comfort, back to you. So every writer requires an audience because I mean, if you write something, you need people to read it or to even
Mhm.
purchase if they are up for sale. So how did you go about building your audience? And do you have tips for writers who are just starting out and want to build
Sure.
their audience? Yeah.
Of course. It's quite interesting that you asked because when I actually started building my brand for real in 2021 on Instagram, one of the goals was, to build a community that would buy my books. That was like one of my major goals, right? So I found that over the years, one thing that's worked for me is just, sharing value. And I know that that's like overflogged. It's so cliche. It's everybody says it. Oh, share value, share value. And like, what is valuable? So I'm going to break that down. It just means, finding something that you find really interesting, something that you can't get tired of talking about, something that you are really knowledgeable about, something that you're truly passionate about. It could be any of those things really, and just, sharing your opinions, your perspectives, or the knowledge that you have on these things with your
Yeah.
audience. And the more you share, the more people realize that, oh, even though you might be saying the same thing that other people have said before, the way you say them is different. Your personality shines through, the extent of the knowledge you have on the set subject matters also shines through. Your people just begin to find you, really. The people just begin to find you, right? So don't overcomplicate the whole sharing value aspect. Even if you're just making people laugh, that is value. In fact, I like to remind my students that some of the biggest creators are, skit makers, right? And all they do basically is make
Yeah.
people laugh. That's fine. It's tough these days. So if you can make people laugh, that's real value. So don't overthink value. Sometimes it can just be, sharing things about your life. It could be lifestyle content. It could be anything really. Just start sharing content about something that really means a lot to you, and follow the usual brand growth tips, engage other people, post for visibility, post consistently, and it's only a matter of time before your tribe finds you, and then things just get better from there. So if you are starting out as a writer, you want to build your own community, one thing I would say is, you have to decide, do you want to build a community for writers, or do you want to build a community for everybody, and or do you want to build a community for clients and customers, right? So if you want to build a community for writers, then you know that you probably want to share tips on writing, valuable stuff, relatable stuff, lessons that you've learned from your own journey, challenges that you've had. You basically just want to carry them through your writing journey as a writer yourself, and you also want to be able to help them grow in their journey by sharing tips that can help them do just that. So that would bring, a community of writers around you, right? You could also be doing book reviews, to also join a community of readers, which would really act in your favor when you begin to publish your own books. So because you already have a community of readers, now you can expect that they definitely want to, key into what you have to offer them and buy your books and read them. I would also say that you also want to prioritize more written form of content than video form of content, because to a very large extent you want to be able to show your writing prowess and let people know that, yeah, you're really good at what you do, not just using video content all the time. And sometimes you want to carry them along on your behind the scene, your process, maybe just how you are able to come up with your plot, or how you're able to come up with your content, how you're able to flesh out
Okay.
your content ideas, and just give them insights basically. Now, if you want to build a community of, just people, not necessarily writers or readers, just people like me, my community is made up of young adults, right, that are really interested in holistic well-being, right? So you know that you want to choose a niche or niches, as the case might be, that would appeal to, the target audience you want. So right now, young people are all about how can I make money? How can I be more productive? How can I build better relationships? So if you begin to create content on these things, then of course, they're definitely going to, draw towards you. Now, if you want to build a community of clients and customers, maybe you want people to begin to patronize your services as a writer, then you know that your content should mostly be focused on your processes, your behind the scenes, how you ensure that you're delivering quality to your audience, testimonials, proof content, authority building content, and most particularly, you want to be able to show your clients and customers or prospective clients and customers, as the case might be, how your skills will be able to really help them and make their lives better overall, right? So yeah, those are the tips that I'll give you. It just depends on the kind of community you want to build, really, and then you tailor your content accordingly. I'm seeing that we have some questions here. What kind of books do I write? Oh, I write fictional books. I write novels. I'm a romance author. I love romance, so I love to just let that shine through in my writings. How did I find the courage to put myself out there and build a community? Honestly, if I don't think I ever had to find the courage. So growing up, I grew up in a very active family. Like we were always active in school, active in church. So I've always been out there. I've always lived a life in the spotlight. I was in debate communities, jet clubs. I was the queen of my entire sports, house. I was in essay competitions, spelling bees. I was in dramas, choreographies. I've always been out there. Church, school, name it. I've always been out there. So, and I've always been a very opinionated person. And I just believe that if you have something to say, then just go ahead and say it. So it was I never had to struggle with finding the courage. I just felt like, oh, people are doing this and I want to do it and I'm going to do it. Funnily enough, I stumbled upon content creation. So my journey, even though I started building my brand in 2021, my journey goes way back to 2018. And I joined Twitter because okay, I was going through a breakup and I needed to know what my partner at the time was up to because the person was ghosting me and he was always on Twitter. So I was on Twitter that is always taking this person's attention. So I got on Twitter and I realized, okay, it was kind of fun. Just come and say your opinion on trending matters and keep it moving. And that's what I was doing. I wasn't even really aware that there was a world of content creation, that people were creating content deliberately and intentionally to grow their brands. I just started dropping my own hot takes on trending issues, saying what I giving my opinions. And before I knew it, my account started growing 5K followers, 8K, 10K. And then people started coming to me with influencer jobs and all. So that was how I got introduced to the world of, content creation.
Content creation.
And then when I took a break, I took like a year break, and I decided okay, that was the time that Twitter got banned as well. So okay,
Yeah.
Twitter is not really a feasible platform to build anything sustainable right now. So let me go to Instagram since like they're having all the fun over there. So I went to Instagram, and this was when I would say that I started with intentionality, this time around to build my brand as a content creator. So I never really had to find the courage. But I do know that if you are struggling to find the courage, if you feel shy, if you start with what's comfortable, if it's sharing on your stories where you're thinking, but not many people will see it, share on your stories. If it's faceless videos, share faceless videos. If you just to, have a faceless brand, don't put your face, use an animation as your PFP and start posting your writings. Go ahead, start with what feels comfortable. Practice, and then from there, the more you share, the more you see that people really love what you have to say and they are welcoming. You start finding that you are becoming more courageous to share even more, right? So, how do you market a self-published ebook to a global audience? This is like a whole a whole marketing strategy session that I might not be able to get into right now. But I do know that having a community already really, really helps because then you're not just coming from they know you, you've established some form of trust, you've built some form of rapport. So they're eager to read what you have to say, what you have to offer, especially when you're someone that's consistently offered value, over a period of time. So they know that, okay, whatever we're buying from you is going to really be worth our time and worth the money as well. You need a very, very clear marketing plan and strategy. I had to put marketing of my book on hold because we want things to just roll out, when the hard copies are ready. So if you want to get the soft copy, no problem. If you want to get the hard copy, no problem. But working with the marketing plan really works. You want to create as much awareness as possible. You want to build anticipation, and you definitely also want to, work with people who are popular for giving book reviews, right? To just put word out there for your book, get more eyes on the book, more traffic. You want to share snippets as well. You want to share behind the scenes, the process. You want to share the challenges. You want to talk a lot about your characters and your plot. I'd say one thing that really pushed the marketing of my book was I made this thread where I attached popular Nollywood characters to the characters in my book, like popular Nollywood actors to the characters in my book. So the lead female of my book was Nancy Sime, and then some of our friends were, the likes of Adeswa Itomi, Jemima Oshunde, and then people really, really loved that. It received a lot of love on both Twitter and Instagram because now people could put faces to these characters. I thought, okay, if you are saying these people would fit these characters, and I definitely want to read the book and and see why you think that these people would fit these characters. And we got a lot of sales from just that alone. So yeah, it's not about planning and strategy. Um, okay. Do you want
That's
to
a
keep
great
answering the questions
strategy.
in the comment section, or should we just?
Let's continue. We can attend to the other questions after the
Okay, all
separate.
right, no worries.
Thank you very much. So back to so if you have more questions for Comfort, please leave them in the comment section. So back to the questions, Comfort. So you've cracked the code on selling successfully, like you said earlier. Can you share strategies you use to convert your audience to paying customers?
Mm, I would
Yeah.
say that one thing that has really worked for me has been operating with structure, right? So I know that at first I really struggled with getting people to buy my products and services because that was not the primary model of my business. I didn't start out as a business per se. I started out as a creator, and then as I grew,
Yeah.
as the brand grew, I began to introduce, products and services, and it was new to people, so they didn't want to really, really buy or patronize me. But I know that one thing that really began to, make things switch was I got very serious and deliberate about marketing. So you really, really, really want to market. You don't want to be shy to sell. You want to learn content marketing and you want to leverage it and use it to your greatest advantage. So you don't want to be shy to sell. So what I do is I usually have like a pre-launch plan, a launch plan, and a post-launch marketing plan. So if I want to drop something, say in like August, from June, I'm already telling people about it. I'm already building anticipation. I'm already getting them to want to, to have that thing in their hands already. I'm telling them how exciting it would be, how profitable it would be for them. I need to change their lives. I'm selling the transformative story, not just say, oh, you will learn a lot. People are tired of learning. People want transformation. So I'm telling the transformative story. Okay, let me use a very clear example. Recently, I sold out my writing boot camp, and the starting price was 100,000 naira for the boot camp, and we opened the doors to 30 people, and 38 people ended up registering. Now, when we got to the second 10, we increased the price to 120,000, and then when we got to third 10, we increased the price to 130,000 and 150,000. But then at some point when it came, economy started, let's bring it down to 130,000, and people still paid. Now, this is saying a lot because the first time I tried to sell anything, it was 2,500. And I think only 17 people paid for it. But this time around, so over the years, number one, I've built trust with my audience. Okay,
Yeah.
there's only that this is our third um main edition of this bootcamp, but like the fifth writing class we'll ever hold. And then there have been good reports from our past students over the years. So that again has shown people that okay, yes, I can trust this person with my money, but we also did a lot of marketing. So what we did was We launched in April. By February, by January, I started telling them that our boot camp for this year is coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be exciting. Then by February, I took a break to finish my novel. Then March, I came back, and then March was like, oh my god, I just got out of a strategy session with my strategists, and my goodness, you guys are not ready for what we have planned for you for this boot camp. It's going to be power packed. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be wonderful. So I'm creating that excitement, like, oh, okay, I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of it. Don't worry, more details are coming later. And then afterwards, I started to give them a view of what the boot camp would be like. Oh, we're going to be learning about, 8 hot writing niches. The goal of this boot camp is to make you a professional writer, a paid professional writer. If you want to start earning from your writing before the end of this year, then you definitely want to be in this boot camp, right? So we speak to, we spoke to the transformation that people want to see. A lot of people want to see in their writing. And one thing that I am refraining from doing in my business is using pain point marketing. So pain point marketing is when you begin to speak to, the pain of somebody. Oh, you are broke, you are sad, you are angry. You don't want to remind people of what they are going through. They know what they're going through. They don't need you to remind them, right? They want you to paint a picture of what could be for them. So I'm like, okay, imagine that you're just chilling one afternoon and you receive an alert, your client just paid in dollars. Imagine that, as you are working on your system, you get another job offer. Just imagine a life like that where you're always booked and busy. As a writer, like, it can happen for you, but you need the right skills to help you. So if you really learn marketing, right, it becomes easier to just. I had to learn marketing at some point because I knew that was something I struggled with. So I took courses on marketing, I learned marketing, and then I started implementing everything I learned in my business. So I was saying, first thing you want to do is create awareness that that thing is coming. You want to start doing that ahead of your launch time, right? Create awareness, build excitement and anticipation. Let people know that, oh yeah, this thing is coming. You don't want to miss it. Put them in a state of, I can't wait for this to drop. I can't wait for this to drop, right? And then you also want to, after that, the next thing you want to do, you want to paint transformation for them. You want to let them know that this is what you stand to gain, from getting this product, from getting this service, from reading this book. With my When Love Visit, I was like, oh, if you're a romance lover, if you want to know what it means to really experience awesome and healthy love, then you need to read my book, When Love Visits, right? So I'm letting them know that if you read this book, you'll be in like a state of euphoric bliss because it will be a really entertaining and enjoyable experience for you. And people want to experience that. There are people who are book lovers or romance lovers, as the case might be. So paint that picture for them, paint that transformation for them, and really lock them in. Then, of course, you want to really give them details, right? Depth and details about what your offer is all about, like what it has to offer them, right? So that's where you're not saying, okay, this is what you're going to learn, this is what you're going to do, this is what it's going to be like, or this is what is in the book, this is the plot, these are the characters, this is what they are made of, right? And then sometimes it can be answering, just coming up with questions that you think people will ask you, and then just give them answers to those questions so they can have more knowledge. Now, another thing you want to do is, you now want to spread this out. You want to always remind people that, oh, this thing is coming, this thing is coming. So you can do this in different ways. You can create relatable reels. You can use trending audios. You can ask your family members and your friends to share to their statuses or their stories, as the case might be. And before you know it, what is just out there now? Twitter is also a very great tool to leverage when it comes to marketing because it's easy for things to go viral on Twitter, right? So you could create space, you could create your IG live on Twitter. You could just reach out to a few friends that are active on the timeline. Oh, read my book, let's start talking about it. And before you know it, I see someone talk about it today. I see someone else talk about it today. I see someone talk about it next tomorrow. I'll be like, just like everybody's talking about this book. I want to read it. So you want to like trigger that FOMO, in the minds of audience and readers as well. And before you know it, little by little, then reviews. Once you launch and people start to read, ask for reviews. Don't be shy to ask for reviews. When they give you the reviews, you take screenshot of reviews and then you post it because now people, okay, she's not just saying that book is good. I mean, she wrote the book. Of course, she will say it's good, but other people are saying that it's good. So maybe it's actually good and maybe I want to check it out myself. So yeah, these are the things that I would basically recommend as some strategies you can use to market and sell your book And of course, you want to make sure that even after you launch, the marketing continues. If you already have an existing email platform, you want to leverage that. You want to be sending them emails,
Emails,
keeping
yeah.
them updated. Some people will not see what you're posting on social media, but they would get the notification that an email came in. So you also want to leverage that as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that answer. So you've explained how writers can use Instagram and Twitter to um, engage their audience and to like promote their work. But like, are there other platforms they can also use, like platforms like WhatsApp and Telegram? And if
Yes.
yes, okay.
Yes,
So like, how can they
absolutely.
leverage these platforms as well?
Okay, so for Telegram, I would say that the best way to leverage Telegram is if you have an active community on Telegram, like you have like a group on Telegram, maybe a book club, right, or a group for writers. It can be anything really, but if you have an active community on Telegram, then it becomes easier to just, oh, I have this book, so and so. Now on WhatsApp, you can use your WhatsApp stories, you can use broadcast messages on WhatsApp as well,
Yeah.
get people to know about your book and want to read. You can ask your friends and family to share on their status as well. Then TikTok is also really great for making your books go viral, right? So just create, you can just reenact a scene from your book, a POV. When this character in my book does this to that character, this is how they react. I'm like, whoa, I want to read this, right? Oh, POV, process of writing these. This kind of content often go viral on TikTok. And yeah, even YouTube, if you already have an existing YouTube audience, you could let them know, oh, my book is out here. If you publish the hard copy, oh, you can show them, do the unboxing, the unveiling, and maybe organize a mini book launch. It could be an online book launch event, or it could even more preferably be an offline book launch and book signing events. So all of this will just basically contribute to racking up your sales. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that answer, Comfort. So besides selling books, what other ways can writers monetize their skills? And have you explored, apart from like writing and like selling books, have you explored other ways of monetizing your writing skills?
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, I worked as a professional ghostwriter for
Yeah.
5 years. So, as a writer, apart from selling your own books, you can offer your writing skills as a service to clients, organizations. You can work as a freelance writer, or you can choose to become, fully employed. You can work as a part-time writer as well. Another thing you can do is you could start a writing agency. So what you basically do is like you recruit writers, you train them, and then you serve as the medium between them and paying clients, customers, organizations, right? So you could just like be the agency would just be what really does the marketing and brings in clients. And when you bring in clients, you can now, okay, I have this writer that is suited to your needs as an organization or as a client, and you connect them and you get your own pay. Now you can also organize writing classes, right? So that's one thing I do. I used to organize 2 writing cohorts a year, but this year we're doing just one because the boot camp is we transformed it into a boot camp. It lasts longer now. We're presently in the middle of it. We started like 3 weeks ago. In fact, I have a session just after this webinar, right? And it's
Oh,
lasting for 3 months.
yeah.
So I do that as well. You can also sell ebooks to teach people about writing. I have a friend who writes. She's a storyteller, and then she published her own ebook last year, How to Tell Your Story. Her name is Dami. So she also sold that as well. So you can write ebooks teaching people how to write and sell. You can create a course, right? I have a course that I've been working on, set to be launched next year on creative writing. So you can create a course to teach people about writing, and people definitely want to buy it. And another thing you can do is if you build your account as a writer, your brand as a writer. I've had brands reach out to me to be their brand storytellers, and I've worked with a good number of startups as their brand storytellers. So you can work as a brand storyteller. You can also work as a consultant. So there are people that reach out to me to tell me, oh, Comfort, I want to publish my book. I don't know how to go about it. Can you take me through it? And then I'll teach them. Some people come for private coaching. Some people come so that I can help them through their entire book writing process. I have services like that that I offer. And when you're able to grow your account to a or your brand to a substantial degree, you would have brands coming to you to leverage the audience you've built. Like, oh, help us advertise this, we'll pay you this so amount. So you can also earn money in that regard as well as as an influencer. So these are just a myriad of ways that you can really leverage your writing to you know make and a
Make money.
living aside from just selling books that you self-published. Yeah.
Thank you, Comfort. So, for aspiring writers who might be intimidated by the business side of things, what advice would you give them on navigating the world of writing and making a living as a writer?
Mm. The only way you can learn is to push yourself into the river and swim. If you keep staying out of the water because, oh, there are many sharks, I don't want to get eaten, I don't want to get swallowed up, you won't make any progress. You need to just dive
Yeah.
in and learn how to swim. You might drown a couple of times, but you'll find a way to shore again and then you try again, right? So just get in the industry. Follow people who have been in the game for a while and who know what they're doing. We can just understudy them. Sometimes people think that being mentored by someone has to involve going to meet them and say, "Oh, mentor me," and they will now hold your hand and start to mentor you one by one, one by. No, it doesn't have to be that. You can learn from people just by observing them. Follow how they post, follow how they market their products, follow how they prep their audience when they have a launch coming up. Follow the things like and some of these people will share valuable tips in their content. So digest these tips, save them so you can always go back to, and then before you know it, you are learning and learning. And sometimes, most times, the best way to learn is through practice. So when you get into the game yourself and you try you see what works, oh, and then you see what doesn't work. So when something doesn't work, okay, why did this work? You go back to the drawing board, you adjust here and there, and then you try again, and that's how you get better. Also, don't be afraid to pay for knowledge, invest in knowledge, right? I said I had to go take a marketing course because I knew that I was very, very bad at marketing, but now I'm much better at marketing, right? So invest in knowledge. If it means consulting with people who have been doing this for longer than you, paying for that consultation session with them, go ahead and pay for it. There's nothing that would really transform your business as much as having the right access to the right knowledge, right? So having access to the right knowledge. Sometimes you are not succeeding because you just don't know like the secrets. You don't know what people are doing to succeed. But when you know, it becomes easier for you to replicate that or implement that as the case might be. And then you can now, record similar success
Yeah.
as others. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for that answer, Comfort. So, the last question before we start taking questions from the audience. So, is there a final piece of advice you would like to share with our audience of writers looking to monetize their words?
Mm, I would say that yesterday was the best day to start. Today is the next best day to start. The longer you put it off, the harder it gets, right? So just start. I know people say it a lot, and starting is not easy, but start from somewhere. You can start from making one post today, another post tomorrow. You can start from writing your topic today and chapter one tomorrow. Developing your plot today. You can start with designing your book cover and putting it out there. Ah, I have a book coming up. Oh, so just start from somewhere really and take it one step at a time. The world has made it so much easier for you to be your own boss, as the case might be.
Yeah.
Years ago, you either had to come from a rich family or be extremely lucky to get your book published. But it's not the case these days. There are so many resources and tools available to you to enable you sell your own books at your own pace, at your own rate and all of those things. So please take advantage of all of them. Don't put it off for too long. If you have any struggles, reach out and ask for help. If there's anything you need to learn about it. Just start something, right? And believe in yourself. You really need to believe in yourself. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this book I wrote, is it even making sense? And then somebody comes to give me, Phoenix, I just finished reading your book. Oh my God, is this, is that? Oh, you're my best writer. I'm like, hey, really? Okay. So believe in yourself. This creative work we do, it comes with a lot of self-doubt because sometimes you compare, sometimes you just feel like I'm not doing enough, but you are doing enough. Where you are right now is more than good enough and it can only get better. So yeah, believe in yourself. And that's what I have to say.
Thank you so much, Comfort, for this very, very informative session. You broke down the answers
Mm.
so but I'm pretty sure our audience learned a thing or two from you in this past 1 hour. So we'll be taking questions now. So anyone who has questions for Comfort from regarding the topic, please leave your questions in the comment section and we will attend to them. So Abraham Aluya says, I'm new to Seller, don't really know how it works. Oh, that's something for me to answer. So Abraham, just go on Seller's YouTube page. There are a lot of videos and resources there that would guide you on how to use Seller. Queen Ungozi Amadi says, I'm trying to find my way back to writing, so I would love to read yours. Give a title, where to find it. Thank you.
Okay, so the title of my book is When Love Visits. When Love Visits, right? And you can find it on Amazon Kindle, you can find it on Seller, you can find it on Mainstack. But you know what? If you follow me on any social media platform, you can just send me a DM and I'm going to send you a link to all the platforms that you can find the book, and to be easier for you to just make a purchase. You can send me a DM on Twitter, that's at underscore Phoenix Black. The black is with a V. Phoenix PhoenixBLVCK. And on Instagram is Phoenix underscore Black. So Phoenix underscore BLVCK. The black is with a V, right? So yeah, just shoot me a DM and I'll share the link with you, Ngozi. Thank you so much.
So Annie Okpara says, what strategies are more suited in marketing an ebook as a new writer?
Honestly, there is no one size fits all. It really depends on what your ebook is all about. You know, the way you market a non-fiction ebook is not the same way you market a fiction ebook, and it's certainly not the same way, you know, you would market like a book that is small, like it's longer in length or shorter in length. So it just really depends on the book you're marketing, the audience that you're marketing to. You need to know all of this before you can actually come up with a strategy that would really convert. So I might not be able to go into that right now.
Okay. But I think you even answered that
Yeah, I've
question.
answered some of it before. Yes,
So
yes.
to get a more detailed breakdown, please watch the video over again. You can catch the replay on our YouTube channel. So Tranquil Moments with Me says social media marketing, affiliate marketing, and digital marketing courses are needed as a writer in
Yes.
2014. I'm speaking from experience. Thank you, Tranquil, for that tip. Essay Uwubiti says, does books sold on seller offer a funnel like mail collection or mail collection to follow up? Oh yes, you can. Seller allows merchants to collect emails of customers, and you can also follow up with those customers when you collect their emails. Seller also has a lot of amazing features. Depending on the plan you subscribe to, we have the Pro plan, the Turbo, and the Turbo Plus. Ugboka Favor says, how can I sell on seller platform? Do I need to do marketing work, etc.? I just in the guide. You don't need to do marketing before you sell on seller, but um, there are also resources that can help you sell your products. Just watch videos on our channel and reach out to support. Okay. Sam Simeko says, can one depend solely on ebook marketing and make lots of money?
Mm, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can make lots of money, but I wouldn't recommend depending solely on any one source of income because it's risky. Anything can happen. Diversify your sources of income, and that would definitely put you in a much better position as a writer.
All right, thank you very much, Comfort. I think those are all the questions we have today. Thank you so much, Comfort, for this very, very insightful and informative session.
Thank you for
We
having
really
me.
appreciate, we really appreciate you making time for this session. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you
And
so much for having me. And thank you to the audience as well. You guys have been quite engaging. Thank you.
oh, thank you. You're welcome. If you'd like to watch this session again, you can always catch it anytime on our YouTube channel. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Comfort, and have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Hey Siri, how do I make money as a digital creator? How can I make money from my creativity? What's the best cost hosting platform in Africa?
To do that, you'll need to be online.
All right, I'm online. What's next? Everyone has a story to tell. The difference is in how we tell them. As a creator, you tell your stories with the content you create. Our job is to give you a platform to monetize your content. So the next time you think about digital products, think Seller. Get started for free on seller.co today.
Being a creator is a lot. We understand the effort you put into your creative work, always showing up and delivering value. We see you. As a creator, we know you need to be supported. And that's why Show Love by Seller was created just for you. Show Love enables you to easily accept tips and donations from your supporters and fans all over the world. With Show Love, your fans, community, audience, and followers can now reward you for all the hard work you put in. What's more, you can receive these tips and donations from anyone, anywhere in the world. To get started, all you have to do is go to www.seller.co/showlove, fill in your details, and in less than 5 minutes, you can set up your Show Love page and start accepting tips. It's as easy as ABC. So what are you waiting for? Over 10,000 creators are using Show Love, and you should be one of them.